Rob's Models, and today I'm going to be building Airfix's 172nd de Vampire T.11-J28-C, and that's kit number A02058A. Now it's a 172nd kit, it's going to be quite small, although I have done some of the newer 172nd releases by Airfix, and I believe, although this has been re-released with some new decals, the kit itself isn't too old, so I'm hoping we should be having some recessed panel lines, and let's see what we've got in there. Well, first off we have a bag full of sprues, we've got instructions, we have paint schemes, two different paint schemes. One is going to be the bare metal with the red, and the second one is going to be for the one which is currently being flown and maintained by the Swedish Air Force. So that's grey on the bottom with the greeny brown on top, but I think I'm going to be going for the one which is the Central Flying School based in Gloucestershire, England, which isn't actually too far from where I live, and that should look quite nice in the silver. And we also have the decal sheet as well. So let's first of all pop that aside. We've looked at that. I've got to say there is a lot of decals going on there, so that is quite daunting, whereas if I had just gone for the Swedish version, there's not going to be too many at all there. So let's pop that aside and see the instructions. Standard layout for the instructions. Got a little bit of information about the de Vampire first of all, the jet trainer. It says here that the wingspan is going to be just over 16 centimetres, so that's not too long at all, and the fuselage length about 15 centimetres. So actually you're not going to be looking at that much more than a 72nd Spitfire. So as this is a two-seater jet trainer, that is quite small. Only one bit of paper for the instructions, starting off as standard with doing the cockpit, then two pilots that go in, build the cockpit up, that goes together, then build the engine intakes, so that will come on underneath, no, that will go in on the rear, then popping on the top half of the wings, then doing the two pylons that come out the back for the tail, and then it looks like they go on and get locked into place by putting the lower part of the wings on. And then of course we've also got whether the canopy will be open or shut as well. What's a little confusing here actually is it's only giving options for if you want the gears up or down in 14 and 15. However, the gear struts themselves need to be put in place in 11. So I'm sure you'd have to make the decision before then if you want to gear up and down, before you actually get to 14 and 15, because if you want to gear up, you've already got that down, you're going to have to be snapping that off, but that's not a big deal. Decals look quite interesting now. I am quite pleased to see the decals in here because I was getting quite worried about painting the red colour, and actually looking at this, it's not so much a red colour, it's more of a neon orange colour. That's a very bright, vivid one, and although you would be able to buy the paint for that, I'm thinking stick with the decals. However, I really wasn't looking forward to masking up and doing that paint job, especially on a natural finish, because what inevitably happens is you remove the tape and it always removes a bit of sheen from the metallic layer that you've already got down already. You can see where the tape is, so that's going to be good. And what is good is that they do feel quite thin. They have got, actually, we're saying that some of them do. This could be a real case of having to get the microset and the microsole out to really get these to bed down, especially as they are going to have to be going around some quite complex curves. Let's see how good the Airfix decals are. I think this kit is going to be a real test on the decals, although I'm going to go for the decal route because I think I could try to mask, but if they've provided that, I'd be silly not to do it, and also in that vivid orange colour as well. So a lot of decals to go on, so let's see what we've got there. So first of all we have 1, 2, 3 sprues and a clear sprue as well. So let's check out the first one. So we have got the recessed panel lines. They are quite fine, they've still got some nice riveting detail as well, so that should take a wash quite nicely. Apart from that, actually looking down into the exhaust, you can see a little hint of turbine blades down in there as well. Not a huge amount of detailing on the gear, and also not a huge amount of detailing on the seats. If you were going to be doing it with the canopy open and no pilots, you are going to need to be doing a bit of scratch building to do some harnesses. They really are designed for the pilots to be put in directly. However, the actual detailing on that will be the top half of the wings does look quite nice. Let's see the next part. Main body of the fuselage, that's good. You've got some good, again, recessed panel lines, some hinges. If anything, they are a little bit thick actually for the scale. These are quite thick, although looking on those lower wing surfaces, there are some fine rivet details as well. So I think you're going to have that thicker line. However, if you're getting a panel wash on there, that should take the wash quite nicely. And what often happens if you are doing bare metal finishes, you sometimes want to differentiate between different panels as well. So that will be quite useful for that. Floor of the cockpit as well, because that's going to be quite seen. You've got some big glass canopies on there as well. There is some riveting detail on there. So that is all looking fine. And then on the final sprue we have here, again on those sponsons that come out for the tail plane, some good riveting detail, good little hatches. Yeah, that actually does look quite crisp and clean on there. Not really much more. Do have a few ejection pins that might need sorting out on the intakes, but looking at the looking on the inside of the fuselage, and again some quite nice detail, there is quite a big ejection pin going on there actually, but again those do seem to be buried, and I don't think that would actually be visible from looking through either the canopy or if you do have the canopy up. So that's good. Talking of the canopy, that's the fourth and final sprue. That is looking actually very crisp and clear. Actually, I say that. Yeah, no, actually, I would say that is. It's just got a compound curve to it, and at first I thought that wasn't. It might just need a little bit of a polish. I don't know. It just seems to have a weird, almost watery, ripply feel, but it seems to only be on angles. I don't know whether I've got a moulding there, but when I bring it down close I can actually see through it quite well, so I think that should be fine. And again, the front canopy, you've even got a windscreen wiper built into there as well. So actually I would say this, for the scale, for the thickness, is quite a nice clear canopy. It's got a nice sheen, a nice shine to it. So we've got the three main plastic sprues and the clear parts there, a really good decal sheet. This should actually be a fun kit, good to make. It should be quite a quick build, but still a good opportunity to do some detailing on there as well. That is the Airfix 1/72 de Havilland Vampire T.11/J28-C, number A02058A.